All right, welcome back to Footylife. Today, we're going to be going over the standings over the group stage, and we're going to be talking about the round of 16. The time has finally come, guys. Let's jump right into it. Let's review Group A. Shanky, why don't you tell us a little bit about Group A and uh, the overall standings of it?
Yeah, Group A, straightforward. We knew Italy would come out on top. They had a good form coming into the Euros. The form is still great. I think they are going into 30 matches unbeaten. Mancini's done a great job here. And to talk about this Italy team, they are one of the favorites. This team is very good defensively. They have not conceded a goal, and attacking, the attack's great. I think we knew that. The surprise to me here was Wales as second. I think on a previous episode we talked about Turkey as a dark horse, and I had Turkey to go second. So I'm a bit surprised Turkey did not win anything. And Wales finished ahead of Switzerland, even though they had a point difference. But yeah, I'm very surprised on Wales and Switzerland. Ani, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Italy, we don't need to talk much about them. We know just how good they are, and they've probably been the most consistent team throughout the group stage. Yes, there was other teams that also won all three matches, but as a whole team coming together, they were most consistent. And you're right about the Turkey point. I think a number of papers and media outlets predicted Turkey along with us as well. We all thought they actually had a very good team on paper and expected them to do a lot better. They conceded the fewest goals in qualifying and came here, and it was nothing but disappointment. And you're also spot on in terms of Wales and Switzerland. Yes, tied for points and probably equal skill level, but Wales did come out on top here, which is a little surprising. But we can't forget they made semifinals last Euros, so they are a team that they know it's a tournament. They know it's one game at a time, and it's not many games at the end of the day. I mean, yes, you play three in the group stage, but afterwards it's one game at a time, and that's where they're very good. They just focus on what's at hand, not their target of reaching a final or something.
Yeah, I gotta agree with both of you. I mean, I'm quite surprised Wales came second here. I know at the beginning, like you said, I personally thought Turkey was the dark horse. Um, we were proven wrong here. Italy, I got to give props to the team here. They have so much depth, and the quality of the players is really starting to show. Um, yeah, and Switzerland, Shaqiri stepped up last match, and they got a spot, right? So, all right, let's move on to Group B.
Sorry, coming back to that Switzerland, very interesting. Switzerland didn't make
Yeah.
it into the next round.
Oh no, they didn't.
Yeah, like
Right,
they,
right,
they got screwed on the goal difference here, but very interesting because they had a great game.
right, right.
They had did one draw, great game against Turkey, but very surprising how they didn't make it.
No, Shanky, they play France.
Or did they play France? Okay, so I'm curious to see which team didn't make it, but
They made it, but they didn't. They don't have a favorable draw.
yeah, okay, very interesting to see what happens with Switzerland.
Yeah, going to be a tough match for them there. All right, Group B. Let's talk a little bit about this and how the result is.
All right. Well, you had Belgium on top here, and this was a group. It was in day two of the Euros, I think, where we had that incident that worldwide football fans, I think, grew an appreciation for Denmark and the team and wanted them to rally together. So I'm so pleased to see them in second place here, come back. There was a lot of expectation from this team as well. And then to lose during the first match, your most creative player and probably your most prominent source of goals as well. Very hard for a team mentally, physically, and for them to come back and come second here in the group is wonderful to see. And you know what? Good for Finland as well here. I think Finland, everyone wrote them off, and they actually put in very good performances. Um, and I think a little disappointment with Russia here, and I'm sure the players and the coaching staff there are going to be disappointed with the last place finish.
Yeah, absolutely. What a game that was. Denmark, Russia. I had Russia to win there, and a goal by Christensen, a beautiful goal there. But yes, after the Eriksson saga, they played that day. They lost to Finland. I thought Denmark would be out, and you know, to be honest, like I thought Russia was second after Belgium here. I'm very surprised here, but Oni had mentioned to me. I was talking to him that Denmark is a good team. So I'm very happy for Denmark here. But Finland, again, right? That was the team who couldn't make it to the next round.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, Denmark, before the whole Ericsson thing happened, Ani, you were saying that they were going to push really hard. But as soon as that happened, I personally thought they weren't going to be able to pull it through. But props to them, they did. Russia was a disappointment for me. I thought they would have done a lot better. And Belgium, I just can't bet against them.
This group is very interesting because Denmark, Finland, Russia all had 3 points. All had 3 points.
Yeah.
So they all had one wins, and it could have been Finland or Russia on the other side. So it was very interesting. Denmark, I think Denmark losing to Belgium, Finland. They had that last game. It was win for Denmark or a draw for Russia, and wow, good for Denmark.
You're right. You are right. But we do have to give credit to Belgium. We know they're a powerhouse here. Sorry, but don't forget, no Kevin De Bruyne the first game. Only came on as a sub the second game. Aiden Hazard off the bench as well. They're two most creative midfield or player on the wing as well. We're missing. So Lukaku did a great job carrying the team here to ensure that they did get through. So it wasn't a full force Belgium, but whoever they play in the next round, now I believe it's going to be Portugal.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Portugal because they've got a full strength Belgium team, whereas before maybe there was a chance that they were a little weak.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. All right, let's move on to Group C. Excuse me, and the results here and the standings. Shanky.
Netherlands, one of my favorite teams. I've always supported that team as well. I'm happy. Clean, 3 wins, nothing, beautiful. Austria, that was my surprise actually, because I had Netherlands to go through. I thought Ukraine would win it, as second. Ukraine would win North Macedonia. Predicted Ukraine to win against Austria, and I think that match day 3, Ukraine didn't show up. They just couldn't do anything, like we had people on our fantasy, Ukrainians, and they did nothing. So very happy for Austria to go through 6 points, great for Austria there, and unlucky for Ukraine.
Ani, what are your thoughts on the?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that Ukrainian part there, Shanky. Especially after Ukraine played a very good match day 2. And even the performance they put in match day 1 against the Netherlands, coming back from 2-0 down and then just kind of losing it in the last 5 minutes. It was very surprising that against an Austrian team, they couldn't do more, create more chances, and not even get at least 1 goal. Now, no discredit to Austria. They do have a decent team, but their history in the Euros is not very good, and they normally don't score more than 1 goal. So you would have thought Ukraine would have at least scored 1 to force extra time or something to happen out of that. And we know North Macedonia has 0 points here, 3 losses, but good for them. They're maiden tournament. Goran Pandev, their leader, took him 20 years, his whole career, to get his country to a major international tournament. He's finally done it on his way out and scored their first goal. So great to see them here. Unfortunately, they've had to go home though.
Beautiful, it was funny when he got subbed out. He had some tears in his eyes, and everybody congratulated him. What a milestone for Gordon Pandev.
Yeah, fair play to Netherlands on handing him a jersey as well.
Yep.
I think it was 122 matches that he played.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, 122 matches. They took a photo with Netherlands captain. All right, so I think for Group C, I think I actually nailed this one. I think I had Netherlands winning the group, Austria taking second spot, and of course Ukraine and North Macedonia. I got to say, Netherlands team is really starting to come together here. I think they're really starting to play as a team and show that they're united. And I think they can make a good run.
They're on the easy side of the bracket as well, actually, on the other side, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, John,
yeah. All right, moving on to Group D and the final standings here. First place England, second place Croatia, third place Czech Republic and Scotland. What are your guys' thoughts?
Disappointed. If we talk about England, it was a team. They've got a very good team, a very good strong team. The players, I mean, they all had unbelievable seasons. Harry Kane, I don't think has a point in this tournament. He's nowhere to be found, and I'm surprised Gareth Southgate keeps playing him. I can understand wanting to give a minute to try to find his game again, but I'm surprised for the third game he didn't start on the bench and come on as a sub or something. And he stuck with the player he knows, Sterling. Sterling's performed for them. Croatia right where they belong, second place as well. I thought either or would have been first. And then you've got a great Czech Republic team who definitely seem to have surprised a lot of people here by the way they're playing. And then of course you've got Scotland in last. I think it's a fair result based on the way the teams have played. Just England's got to be careful. I know they've got a tough game up against Germany, which has a lot of history behind it. But if they keep playing how they're playing, I think even the Germans will have a chance against them.
You said it right, but England topping the group right there, done, dusted. Croatia for sure. I thought actually Scotland would make it because the players playing in the Premier League, Billy Gilmore, McTominay, Robertson. I had actually Scotland to go second and Croatia third, but again, the Croatia, they have a lot of individual talent. Just look at that goal from Modric on match day 3. What a goal he scored, man!
What a beauty!
Beauty. Perisic, very influential, right? So this team, they are good. Vlasic, yeah, like very good, very good. So good for Croatia here, and I think Croatia can surprise some teams next as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're faced up against Spain. We'll go over that after. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, going back to England, I mean, if you look at the subs that they have, I feel like their starting lineup could be a lot different. And I personally believe Rashford can be more of an influential player on the field than the players that are being started.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Look at the players they don't even have on the bench though. Look at who they're leaving off the team sheet, the daily team sheet. Jadon Sancho.
Right.
I know Shanky's a big fan of him too.
Right.
And I don't understand why he's not on the bench.
Well, here's the problem with
exactly.
Here's the problem with England, guys. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
7 points, great. 2 wins, 1 draw to go through. It's absolutely. The problem with the England team is the media. You do not play Sancho, you get criticized. If he starts with Jordan Sancho, doesn't start with Sterling, he'll get criticized. He subbed off Harry Kane twice, got criticized. Oh, you don't start Harry Kane, he's a captain, you get criticized. The media in England is so pressure. We all knew Saka was great. Saka played match day 3. Saka had a man of the match. He had an amazing game. Grealish, but you can't start Grealish and Saka. You have to start Foden because you'll get so much criticized, and it's difficult for the manager. Very difficult for the manager to see who to pick and choose because it's just ridiculous with the media. But credit to England, 7 points, and they face a good team, Germany. I think both teams need to click well. It's an equal game.
I agree with part of that, but part of that I disagree. I mean, Foden wasn't on the team sheet for match day 3. They didn't even take him with them into their games. So I don't think Southgate's afraid to drop players and rotate them. I think Foden missed the match because he was on a yellow card. So had he got one, he would have been suspended for the game. But yes, I think, of course, Harry Kane, if he doesn't play, yes, he's going to get some flack for it. But Grealish, I don't think he would get too much if he started Grealish or if he started Sancho. Some of the other players, they didn't. Sterling, for example, yes, he has a good history, but he didn't have a very good year. So
that's true.
There's reasonable ways for him to justify himself in the media, right? Whereas other players like Harry Kane, he had a phenomenal year again, and look at the team he plays for. Unfortunately, that I can understand him still playing him.
It's the midfield of England. They just can't feed Harry Kane. Like he's not getting any service.
They need to give what's his name, Heung-min Son, an English passport.
Yeah, he's not getting any service. That's
you can help him out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Harry Kane, the way he plays, he has to drop so deep with this England squad.
Yeah.
I think one of the first plays where he sent Sterling on a run, they almost scored. He basically dropped past or close to the halfway line.
Yep.
Had to send him a through ball. You know what I mean?
That's
Why is your number 9 dropping that deep? That's
in service.
no. Yeah, you're right. You guys, he definitely needs that service. But also Jack Grealish, first game he starts, gets the assist, right? Okay. Should we finish talking about the rest of the group, or let's move on to Group E?
Let's go to E.
Okay, Group E, Sweden took the top spot here. Spain second, Slovakia third, Poland fourth.
Yeah, for I'm surprised. I thought it would be Spain and Poland. I went with Spain and Poland actually, and I'm trusting Sweden took the spot. Ani knows Swedish players very well, and Sweden did a fantastic job playing that match day 3 against Poland. I think that was very exciting. That game was super exciting with Forsberg and their forward. What's his name? Ani, the forward's name? Isaac. Yeah, Isaac played very well.
Yep.
Very surprised on Sweden, but Spain 5 exactly 0-0 goals conceded, 1 goal conceded, maybe easy wins. The problem with Spain is they can't finish. They would have had 10 goals in like 3-0, 4-0, 3-0. They just can't finish. Morata missing match day 1, match day 3, match day 2, Moreno, and it's the same problem with him. He's having a hard time. Manager's having a hard time to decide should he start Ferran Torres or Morata. Morata keeps missing.
Yeah, Morata comes off if Torres scores 1 minute later. Last match.
Right, Oni and Lewandowski, Poland, beautiful. I think he deserves it. He deserves to go through. Just unlucky. So I think Poland didn't click.
Well, I think Poland hurt themselves in the game against Slovakia, getting the red card and losing that game. That's where they lost it. Coming up against Sweden at the end, they gave a very good performance, a much better performance, a team performance, but came up short against Sweden in the end. They're a very good team that's very sound defensively, and they managed to score the 2 goals against them, which are the only 2 goals Sweden conceded. If you think of the Sweden-Spain game, Spain was pressing the whole 90 minutes, and Sweden stood tall defensively, and Robin Olsen, if it wasn't for him, Spain would have scored a couple, but all the way from their forward to their mids to their Ds to their goalie, they all came back and defended as a team. So keep looking for that in the elimination games for them to be a counter-attacking team for Sweden.
That's a very good point. Very
Very
good
good point. Yeah.
Conceding only 2 against Poland, and that's it. And then winning at the other 2.
Yeah, they're matched up against Ukraine. That's a pretty good matchup in my eyes.
I think so too.
Okay, let's move on to the final group here. Group F, France top of the table, Germany second, Portugal third, and Hungary last.
Well, this was a fun group to watch on the last day.
Oh yeah.
I saw a couple tweets, some people saying, forget the rest of the groups and teams playing this tournament. Can't we have everyone in Group F just playing each other the rest of the tournament because of how exciting this was? This was incredible. I could watch both games at the same time, and you could watch the standings. You could see at one point throughout the whole day or night, wherever you were in the world watching this, Portugal occupied every single position in the group. And that's how quickly the positions changed based on who scored what goal. We know the 3 powerful teams here. I'm not going to talk much about them. They all know what they need to do if they want to advance. They all need to get better. But Hungary was fantastic throughout this tournament. And it's a shame we won't be able to see any more of Hungary. They played without fear. They knew they were up against it. The last Euros, they got out of the group stage. This one unlucky to end up in the group of death with these 3 nations that are all kind of expected to advance, right? So Hungary certainly gave each of them a hard time and played extremely well. Credit to them, and really looking forward to hopefully seeing them back in a big tournament soon.
You're right. I think Hungary could have advanced. The Portugal The Portugal first game where the first goal happened, unlucky deflection. Plus the others too, we won't count, right? They lost concentration and they got frustrated. But that deflection, that would have been a draw. Second France draw, Germany draw, that's 3 points. They would have had a better goal difference, or even if they could have beaten Germany, they could have advanced. I think they got very unlucky here.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, on Shanky. Very unlucky. You know, they played their hearts out. You know, drawing France, drawing Germany. Yeah, that Germany match that shocked me. You know, when they scored that second goal. But yeah, unlucky for them. You know, France took top spot. What do you guys think about Benzema overall? You think he made an impact?
2 goals from Benzema. I think that's fantastic. You know, I couldn't. He didn't do much first game. Second day, he kind of missed a chance, and then 2 goals. I think.
2 goals, yeah.
I think
He played. I was very disappointed with Benzema in the group stage. I was really expecting more given how he played at Real. And certainly this French team is a lot more talented than his club team in its current status, at least, right?
Yep.
Of course, Benzema's been at Real when he had perfect service on a plate for him and that, but then of course the team went through a transitional phase. But this French team, they provide him service, and it was really nice to see him wake up in this third game. He made great runs. He created good chances, created space for others. But I want to talk about a different French player who I've been very impressed with, and it's not N'Golo Kante, it's not Mbappe, it's actually Griezmann. All three of the group matches that he's played in, yes, he didn't maybe score or assist or as he normally does. He won the Golden Boot in the World Cup, I think it was.
yes.
But he came back defensively. He made such key defensive tackles, something you normally see Conte or Pogba do. But it was actually Griezmann coming back here, tracking back, making those hard tackles, and then sprinting back upfield. It was really nice to see him involved defensively, because I know sometimes he can be labeled as one of those lazy players that kind of sits up the field and doesn't get back properly. So he had a great group stage defensively, I have to say.
That's very interesting you say about Griezmann, because the guy who provided service and who created chances to me was Pogba. You know, that match day 3, the pass to Mbappe, that no penalty, wrong decision. Pogba's pass to Benzema on that goal again on match day 3. Pogba's pass again, like, to me, I'm just like, wow, look at this guy, you know, passes and his vision.
Who is this player? Where is he for United?
Yeah, exactly. Where is he for United? And I've seen that when you give Pogba freedom, he does create chances. At United, I think they stick him to a holding role. But to me, you know, it's very interesting to see on you think Griezmann, and to me, Pogba is very shining. So it's very interesting what happens with Pogba, because he's clicking very well with Griezmann, very well with Benzema, very well with Mbappe. So there you have Real Madrid, Barcelona, or anybody, PSG. They can all look for him.
You're absolutely right. It's great to see Pogba when he puts on the France jersey, and he really becomes the player we all know he is.
Yeah.
Whereas with Griezmann, it looks like he's found a new role in the team, a new way to help when he's not scoring, right?
Yes, and absolutely right. And I remember Griezmann pointing this out. I think he won the Golden Boot in the World Cup, and he came back, because who won the World Cup? France didn't win the World Cup.
France won, yeah.
Oh, sorry,
France
yes.
won.
He won the Golden Boot in Euros, and I remember in Euros, and he came back and he said, he's like, I won the Golden Boot, but it doesn't mean anything. I know I have to work hard to create passes and defend my team. I don't care about goals. I won the trophy. I remember him, this interview said that for the Euros.
And that's the type of team that you need, and that's going to end up winning. They know they need to help out everywhere, so it's great to see.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, let's move along to our predictions. We got Belgium, Portugal. Who do you guys see going through? Do you guys want me to go one by one here, or just?
Yeah, let's go one by one.
Yeah, one by one.
Let's go one by one, and we'll make sure as well to point out here, this is one side of the bracket, right? So this is going to be the first half of the bracket.
Okay, so we'll do the first half. Okay, gotcha. First side.
Awesome.
Thank you. Who do you have?
Belgium, Portugal. I think I have Belgium just because the way they work hard. It's a great team. You know, their midfield is masterclass. They will concede a goal. I know that just because they have. It's not Stones and Maguire. I would say that it's they will concede, but their quality is too good. With Lukaku giving him a chance there, this game could go into extra time as well. But I had to have Belgium. But Portugal's been lucky, so I don't know, man. But
He wants to say Portugal. He's
I-
supporting his boy, Ronaldo.
Belgium, man. Belgium, Lukaku, my boy. You guys.
What about you, Oni?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Belgium. I just think they possess too much quality. They're clicking well as a team. Even their, well, let's call them secondary players for this team's sake, but in their club teams, they're all first team players. They even clicked well in the first two games when they came in to fill in for Hazard and De Bruyne. Meunier came in off the bench as well for Castagna, came in, scored a goal. However, I do think Meunier may be a bit of a liability against Portugal just because Meunier likes to get upfield, as we know of some other players as well. I won't mention any names here, but I agree with Shanky. Portugal will lose here, but they won't be held off the score sheet. And a lot's going to come down to as well. The refereeing's been very good. A few mistakes here and there. I thought VAR could have intervened a few times, but I think Belgium just solely because they're going to be too strong.
All right, I'm going with the upset here. I know everyone's probably pulling for Belgium, but I'm going to say Portugal to take this one, just because of Portugal's luck in the Euros and, of course, CR7.
You're right. You're right. This is the match we wanted 5 years ago, and then Wales upset Belgium.
Right, exactly.
Wales upset Belgium, exactly.
Oh, man. But yeah, everyone knows CR7 steps up to these big games, and it's going to happen, I think.
Valid point.
All right. Moving along here, Italy, Spain. Predictions. Let's hear them.
I'm gonna say Italy. I know Spain looks like they clicked the last game 5-0. But you also, again, Morata's confidence is going to be low. The coach doesn't know who to start now. He still doesn't know his best team because they've had one game where they all scored. Yeah. All of a sudden, everyone turned up, but he doesn't know his best combination of players. Whereas Italy, you've got a team that's clicking and the best looking team, most consistent team. But this will be a good test for Italy because they've not come up against an offensive powerhouse like Spain. But I am going to say Italy will go through because of their defensive capabilities and their ability to find the back of the net themselves.
I have to agree. Shanky, what about yourself?
Great point, Oni. Coach doesn't know what the best team is, especially in the midfield, because I think Rodri got rested that game and Sarabia came up and, he did well. With Busquets played as well. So you're absolutely right. And Morata, he's going against Chiellini. He's going against Juventus. Like Chiellini's going to just put him in his pockets and he's going to miss. You have Gerard Moreno. Fair enough. He's had a good game, but I see Italy winning this with the midfield where they have and the dominating midfield, dominating defense, great attack. Italy for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Italy. Just because of the squad that they have here. They've shown that they're solid. They haven't let any goals in recently, and I don't think they're gonna let Spain beat their unbeaten run here. Spain hasn't been able to score. I mean, except for the last match where everyone turned up, like you said, Ani. But yeah, I feel like Italy's just going to hold their ground. Immobile has shown he can step up with the national squad lately, so I think he'll probably score one. Okay, let's go France, Switzerland.
I think France is going to take this one. I haven't been too convinced by their play so far. I don't think they're getting really out of second gear into third and fourth gear here. And perhaps they're a bit fortunate coming up against Switzerland, who did have a very good game, final group game. It's not going to be easy by any means. We'll see if Shaqiri can inspire Switzerland once more. He does have a decent supporting cast, but I think France, the quality which we spoke about before, Griezmann finding a secondary purpose apart from attacking, Pogba finding himself the player we know he can be, Mbappe making those runs, Conte covering. I mean, they've got a complete team, and I just don't see Switzerland being able to surpass them.
Sorry, one sec. Can we pause the recording? I think it's Italy, Austria, isn't it?
Progress.
All right, moving along, we have Italy, Austria. Guys, let's hear your predictions.
Yeah, I think Italy will win here. Austria, they got unlucky. They got lucky with the Ukraine game, I would say. I don't think Austria has that powerhouse to score against Italy. Anya had mentioned it earlier. Austria is a team which scores 1 or 2 goals, 1-0 mostly. It'll be hard for Austria to score, but Italy will definitely score here. So I feel like it's a good test for Italy to come up, score, get ready for the next round.
I agree with you, Shanky. I think Austria are a bit fortunate to be here in the position they're in. Had they actually come third in their group, they would have been on the better side of the draw, which is a bit ironic, really. But here they are coming up against perhaps the most complete team so far that we've seen. And I think it's just going to be another group stage game for Italy here.
We never know. There could be an upset.
But no. Does that mean you're picking Austria?
No. And I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it to say it. But no, I got Italy on this one. Yeah, it could be just another group stage match here. Obviously, maybe a little more intensity, but I think Italy's going to find the back of the net pretty easily here. We have Verratti back in the midfield. Yeah, he'll definitely create some chances as well. So yeah, I got Italy taking this one. Do you guys want to do scores too, just for the fun of it?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's go, Shanky. What do you got?
Yeah, 2-1 Belgium, 2-0 Italy.
2-0 Italy. Okay.
I'm gonna give Belgium a lot of credit here. Portugal have only ever let in 4 goals in a major tournament twice against Germany. I think Belgium's taking this one 4-1. And then Italy, I think it's actually going to be 5-1.
Oh, wow.
Lots of goals coming here.
Wow. I would love to see that. Yeah, I got Portugal maybe 2-1 on this one. It'll be a bit tighter. And Italy maybe 3-0. Let's move on to France, Switzerland. Looks like it's going to be another pretty easy match here for France. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think if France can step out of second gear here, seems like they're kind of stuck in first or second gear so far. But they managed to top the group, and now they're up against Switzerland, a team that you could say struggled the first 2 games, but really found themselves and will have a lot of confidence going into this match. So I think if Switzerland continue to play the way they played the third game and France don't get out of second, I think there could be an upset, but I am expecting France to turn up here. I'm going to say 3-1 France.
Prediction.
Yeah, I would go 2-0 France as well. Easy win for France. Benzema, Mbappe on the score sheet.
Nice. I say, yeah, 3-1 France over Switzerland. Benzema on the score sheet. Mbappe assisting there, maybe on the score sheet as well. And maybe Giroud coming in as a sub, scoring one. Who knows? All right, let's move along. Croatia, Spain. It's going to be a good one.
Becky?
Definitely, this is a good one. I think this is a very good game because you don't know this Croatian team who's good for tournaments, who's done well in the last 2 tournaments, who did really well in last match day 3. And then Spain, he doesn't know who his team is, who's going to score match day 3. Arnie talked about it. A lot of people scored. Everybody turned up. You have Morata there, who's not able to finish. That's hard. And then you have the midfield battle here of Spain and Croatia, and I think Croatia is a very good midfield. I think this game will go into extra time, and it'll be a 1-0 winner. And the winner would be, to me, it'll be Spain. To me, I want Spain to win, but it'll be a 1-0 extra time game.
Nice.
Or even penalties.
What do you think, John?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it could go to extra time now that you mentioned it a little bit, Shanky. Yeah, just because Spain do lack that finish. Morata, yeah, he hasn't really stepped up too much. Moreno, I think he's creating a little bit more chances over Morata, but it's the consistency here for Spain. I mean, they only turned up for the last match, right? 5-0 victory, but really, other than that, it hasn't been that great. So yeah, I mean, let's go Spain 1-0, extra time.
Yeah, I
agree with you, Shanks.
Coming to that, they have a good defense. Laporte, Pau Torres, Garcia. So it's going to be hard for
Croatia to crack that. Yeah, you're right.
Well, on other hand, Spain doesn't have finishing, so it's going to be hard for them to score. So
yeah,
maybe 1-0 Spain and extra time or penalties.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1 Croatia on penalties.
Morata missing.
I'm gonna go with the six shooters.
Hey,
I'll get very specific.
Do we have Morata to score or no?
No, he's missing.
He's missing.
Oh,
awesome. Okay, moving on to the second side of the bracket here. We got Sweden, Ukraine.
I think it's a fair match actually. This side of the bracket actually I'm liking it because you have Sweden, Ukraine a fair match, Wales, Denmark a fair teams. Sweden, Ukraine, both teams are not scared. Both teams want to go attack. I was upset on the Ukraine-Austria game, but these teams both can go attack, and I feel this game will also go into extra time, 0-0, and it'll go into penalties, and I don't know what's going to happen in penalties. I don't know. We need Isaac to do something here, and we need Yarmolenko to drink more water, not Coca-Cola and Heineken.
I see Sweden on this one. I mean, just the way they've performed throughout the group stage, I think they got some good momentum behind them. I see them taking it maybe a 2-1.
I'm going to say 2-0 Sweden. Ukraine are going to be mentally, don't think they're going to be fully mentally recovered from their last match against Austria. And I think they're going to struggle to create against a very defensive Swedish team that's going to hit them on the counter for 2 goals.
That's very good analysis on the counter, because Sweden is good on the counter. They're fast.
Okay, let's move on. England, Germany, big powerhouse matchup.
Well, I think this is definitely one that I think, especially the England's keeping an eye on here, and any fans over the English football fans as well. The way England's played, 2 goals out of a group stage with the talent they have, if they don't pick it up, I think Germany has every chance to beat them. So I think Germany's going to win this one. I think they're going to win 3-1. I really like Germany against other attacking teams. They create more opportunities than teams that sit deep. England will not sit deep because they are an attacking team. We saw that in Germany's group stages. We saw them come up against France. They created a lot of chances against France. But again, because France liked to push out. Same with Portugal. Portugal liked to push out. This time Germany took advantage of their chances. So England struggling to create chances. If England want to win, they need to create more quality as well. That's lacking right now. But I think Germany is going to tie up the overall head-to-head record here to 16 wins apiece.
So what do you think would happen to Germany in the Hungary game? 2-2 draw. They didn't have a good game, and good for them coming back twice.
Yeah, it's interesting, because Portugal was also up 1-0 against Germany. So it's really nice to see that they don't give up. They keep fighting. which can sometimes take a toll on you. You let in that one goal and nothing's working for you. I think Germany, like I said, Germany struggles to break down teams that sit deeper. And Hungary was a team that did sit a bit deeper and hit them on the counter and right off the restart when I think Germany was a little too confident, perhaps, after having scored the 1-1, lost their focus for a minute, and then just Hungary wanted it more. They knew they had a chance to qualify still and really gave it everything they had. And Germany, I have to say, got lucky. But now that they're here,
Yeah.
I think playing another attacking team, they will have a very good chance to beat England, and I do think it'll be 3-1.
That's a good point. I like this team, man. I'm a big German supporter here. Uh, my only concern here is John Stones and Harry Maguire. Maguire's back. They just like they're just to break that defense. That two defense. It's going to be very hard. That's my biggest concern. But yes, you're right, Germany. England wing backs will push up. We know that England wing backs will push up, and that's where Germany can cause trouble. They have the quality in the midfield. We know that Gundogan, Kroos, Sane, Gnabry, they have the quality up there. I just find it hard for Germany to beat England. But
I'll make a point about the center backs after John's prediction.
But yeah, for sure, I think Germany 1-0.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming home here for England. Germany's going to win. Germany's going to win. Oh man, where do I even start? I just feel like the coach just has it all wrong here for England. I just want to start with that, maybe. Yeah, it's true, man. Like, I feel like he could be playing other players. Keep Phil Foden on. He's such a star player. He creates chances. Yeah, he's not the greatest defending, but I mean, he's an attacking threat, right? And you want to have that, especially against a team like Germany. But yeah, we'll see what happens to see if he starts it, right? Go ahead.
Very, very interesting because I think to Ani's point here, just like Spain, which is that he's gonna be double-minded who to pick. Should he pick Grealish? Should he pick Foden? Just like the Spain players, like or should he start Sancho, who hasn't started a game?
Yeah.
Or Rashford. Like I think there's a lot of confusion there too.
Right.
No, you're right.
I think the England coach actually, he's pretty set in his ways and he doesn't really want to change it up or mix it up, right? He wants players with a little more experience, doesn't want to bring in the young guns in yet. Who knows? It might backfire on him, right? So I see Germany taking this one.
I do agree with you. So just going back quickly to the center backs before we move on here, I'm actually very happy to see Harry Maguire and John Stones back there because, and this is something I actually wanted to point out and I forgot to mention Germany, France as well. If they target John Stones, he's prone to making mistakes on the big stage. He did it in the Champions League final just recently, and it wasn't his first time either when that happened. And then you've got Harry Maguire, who was out injured. So they may have declared him fully fit to play, but he's not got that recent game experience under his belt. So he may lack a little bit of concentration as well. And if Germany target John Stones, I think they'll do very well. And this is where I was disappointed with them against France. Target Raphael Varane. Chelsea did it against Real Madrid. Varane made mistakes. Again, not the first year he's made mistakes. Under pressure, just throw the balls at Stones, see what he does with it. He might miss it, run in behind him. You've got the pace. Take advantage.
Very good point. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can all agree here. Germany's going to take this one. All right, moving along with Netherlands, Czech Republic. Let's hear them.
Netherlands, Amsterdam. I think the game's in Amsterdam. Maybe not. I think Netherlands will win here easily. Easy 3-0 for Netherlands. It's easy. The team's been clicking. They know who they have to play. And I don't think Czech Republic coming and scoring against the Netherlands defense.
I agree here, Shanky. Netherlands, maybe another 3-0 victory for them. Their team, like I said before, is really starting to come together.
I agree with you guys on this. I think Netherlands will take it quite easily. They might concede. I'm not sure. They might get caught up the field because they really do like to press up with their wing backs as well. But they've addressed the issue that we spoke about coming into this tournament. We all weren't 100% sure on their defense. You know, no Virgil van Dijk. De Ligt
yeah.
played okay throughout the season, but wasn't. He's still not the player he was at Ajax. I'm gonna go out and say that. He's still not 100% there. So we weren't sure how the defensive side was going to work for Netherlands, but it looks like they've got it under control. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 Netherlands.
Solid. Moving on here to the final match, Wales, Denmark.
No, I think a well-deserved match for Wales, actually. It's funny how the group turned out to be, because you feel it's a fair match to, if Wales and Denmark would have been with the powerhouses, we would have ruled them out. So Denmark will win here just because of the form they've been playing. I don't know if the game's in Copenhagen or not, where the game is, but just pointing it out and coming to Ani's point from previous episode, Denmark is a team. I think Denmark will win here this one, 2-0.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Denmark finally came together for the third game, and they were under pressure. They knew what they had to do, and they did it. And I think Wales is the next good opponent for them. They're not an overly powerful opponent. They know Gareth Bale, of course, his quality on the ball, Aaron Ramsey as well. Those two are those real leaders within the Welsh team. But I think Denmark have found themselves, and they finally managed to get past the incident with Christian Eriksen, and they're fully focused now, and they've got their full team stepping up as well. You know, you had Mele involved from the defense, you had Damsgaard in the middle, Jan Poulsen's already been going since game number 2. I think we can expect a lot from this Danish team, and 2-0 Denmark as well.
All right. My prediction here for this one would be maybe extra time, but Denmark pulling it off. 2-1 victory, Denmark.
Perfect.
All right. Anything else to add, guys?
No, I think we're all looking forward to the games,
Yeah.
and they're going to be some really good ones. I mean, whether you're watching a heavyweight tilt like Belgium, Portugal, Germany, England, Croatia, Spain, I think every game's going to be good to watch. So make sure you have your alarm set so you can make sure you tune in for all of it.
The other point I wanted to make was actually there's no home advantage now. You know how Spain were playing in Seville and Netherlands were playing there. Now Netherlands is playing. The Denmark game is happening in Netherlands, and Netherlands is playing in, I think, in Hungary. So that'd be very interesting to see. Now there's no home advantage. So what do you do?
Yeah, good point there. All right, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next time. All right, guys, and we'll catch you on the next video where we're going to be talking about the results. Have a good one.